You walk into a room and forget why you went in there. You read the same email 3 times and still don't know what it said. You are mid-sentence in a meeting and the word you need just disappears. So you fill the silence with a filler word and you start to wonder if the people on the other side of the table think you are losing it. That is painful. And that used to be me every single day. And here is what nobody told me, what no doctor told me, what took me years of being a functional diagnostic nutrition practitioner to actually understand. Brain fog is not a brain problem. It's a body problem showing up in your head. In the next few minutes, I'm going to walk you through a 12-week case study. Not one person, a pattern I see constantly in FDN cases, in men and in women who finally said enough. By the end of this video, you are going to know exactly what steals your clarity and why your labs keep coming back normal, plus the 3 moves that start the rebuild this week. Stay with me. Let me describe the pattern I see, because it is almost always the same shape. The person living it in their 40s, good job, a family they love, it's clean, works out, maybe takes a fistful of supplements, maybe even fasts. Sometimes it's a man powering through. Just as often, it's a woman in her 40s, deep in perimenopause, watching her own hormones shift under her feet and being told it's just her age. They go to the doctor and say, something is off. I can think, I'm exhausted, I feel slow. The doctor runs a standard panel, the labs come back, and the words you've heard 1,000 times come out of her mouth. Everything looks normal. It's probably just stress, try meditation. If you've heard that, I want you to know something. You are not crazy, you are not weak. You are not making it up. I lived this. I was the Amazon employee doing everything right. Fasting, greens, grass-fed meat, a cabinet full of supplements, even testosterone shots. And none of it touched the phone. I was still exhausted, still snapping at my kid by 7 p.m. and hating myself for it. I asked my doctor about my microbiome test once. You know what she said? If it's not broken, why test it? That drives me nuts. Because the entire reason you are in her office is that something is broken. You just can't see it on a basic blood panel. Here the truth, conventional medicine is not equipped to handle. Standard labs are designed to catch disease. They are not designed to catch dysfunction. And brain fog lives in that gap. That foggy slope can't find the word feeling. That is dysfunction. That is your body waving a red flag before the disease shows up. So the person with this pattern, the man or the woman, sitting in the car after that appointment, holding a piece of paper that says normal, feeling anything wrong. And they have a choice, keep accepting it or go looking for the answer themselves. If you want a head start while you watch, there is a free 5-minute quiz linked below. It points you toward what's most likely stealing your clarity. Start there. But stay with me, because here is what changes when you stop accepting normal. There is a clinical neuropsychologist named Dr. Braun. Her published work shows something remarkable. The brain can show measurable structural change on an MRI within about 12 weeks of consistent lifestyle change. 12 weeks. 3 months from now, your brain can literally look different on a scan. She lays out the standard playbook for getting there. Move your body, sleep well, eat for your brain, lower your stress. That advice is real. It works. But here is where I have to be honest with you. I see people doing all of it every morning for months, and they are still foggy. Why? Because that playbook is the what. It doesn't tell you the why. And if the why underneath your fog is hidden, no amount of green smoothies and meditation apps is going to fix it. Let me show you what I mean. The brain runs on 3 things: filter burn, a clear signal telling it what to do, and a clean environment to work in. When any of those is off, the lights start to dim. Fit is whether your cells can make energy at all. That's blood sugar, your mitochondria, and where the food you eat is actually getting absorbed. Signal is your hormone, the messengers that tell your brain when to fire up and when to rest. Cortisol and thyroid sit at the center of it. And for a woman in her 40s, estrogen and progesterone are already shifting on top of all that, which changes the whole conversation. Environment is how clean the space is that your brain has to work in. When inflammation runs high and the gut is leaking, your body sends a constant low-grade alarm that says something is wrong. Stay on guard. Most brain fog isn't just one of those. It's all three. They feed each other. One of the most common patterns we see in FDN cases is brain fog that gets worse after eating. Think about that. The thing that's supposed to give you energy is making you slower. That is not a brain problem. That is a gut problem walking around in your head. In these cases, people have been to 3 doctors. No one of them asked about the time of the day the fog hit. Not one of them asked about digestion. They handed over the normal paper. If you've been following this series, next week we go even deeper. How to reset your stress response system in 30 days. That's where the cortisol piece lives. Subscribe so you don't miss it. But back to the pattern, back to you. The 5 pillars are necessary. They are not sufficient. To break the fog, you have to know which of these 3 systems, fuel, signal, or environment, is your lead domino. You cannot guess it. And you cannot Google it. You have to look. This is what becomes possible when you follow a protocol built on your own data instead of a generic checklist. Now, let me show you how this pattern reveals its lead domino. In a case like this, the FDN approach doesn't start with supplements. It doesn't start with a diet. It starts with 5 functional labs: stress and hormones, metabolical wellness, liver and detox, intestinal permeability, which is leaky gut, gut health, the actual microbiome, and food sensitivities, the hidden ones, the ones you don't feel for hours. Here is a pattern that comes back again and again in FDN practice, especially in high-performing people in their 40s who are sure they are handling. Cortisol was flatline, not high, flat. The same pattern I had in my own labs years ago. When my doctors told me it was normal stress, it is not normal. A flatline cortisol means the stress response system has been redlining for so long it gave up. It's why you wake up exhausted but get a second wind at 10 p.m. It's why your brain won't turn on in the morning. Then the gut, intestinal permeability through the roof. To food sensitivities, nobody had flagged, but foods been eating every single day because they were healthy. Then the metabolic marker. Detox pathways were sluggish. The body was holding onto inflammation it couldn't clear. So picture that brain. The fuel is low because the cortisol can't get the engine started. The signal is weak and the environment is dirty because the hormones are running downstream of a checked out adrenal system and the gut is leaking inflammation into the bloodstream at every meal. Of course the fog was there. The wonder isn't the fog. The wonder is that this person was functioning at all. This is what I mean when I say brain fog is a body problem. The brain was the smoke, the gut and the adrenals were the fire, and no neurologist was ever going to find that with an MRI. This shows up in women just as much and often louder. In your 40s, perimenopause is already stringing estrogen and progesterone around, and those hormones talk directly to your brain and your stress system. So when a flat cortisol and a leaky gut land on top of a hormonal shift that's already underway, the fog gets blamed on your age and waved off. It isn't your age, it's a system you can actually test. And once you can see it on paper, the protocol becomes clear. If this sounds like you, the goal is simple. See your own data instead of guessing at it. Once you can read it, the fog stops being a mystery. We'll get to how at the end. Okay, you are not going to run labs this afternoon, I get that. But I'm not letting you leave without something you can do this week. 3 moves. Start tomorrow. Move 1, walk outside within 30 minutes of waking up. 10 minutes. No fun. I did it. I shifted things for me. I went from waking up groggy and dragging my steps through the morning to feeling more alert after a 10-minute slow walk in the dark. My sleep got deeper, my resting heart rate dropped. Why does this matter for brain fog? Morning light is one of the most powerful signals you can set your adrenal system to reset your cortisol rhythm. You are telling your body, we are awake now, we'll rest tonight. This is free. This is the foundation. Do not skip it. Move 2. Pull the 2 suspects for 2 weeks, gluten and dairy. I'm not telling you they are bad. I'm telling you they are the 2 most common hidden drivers in FDN cases. In one FDN case, removing food sensitivities cleared brain fog and helped more weight that hadn't shifted in years. 2 weeks. See what happens. If the fog starts to leave, you've learned something about your body. If it doesn't, you've ruled them out. Either way, you have data. Move 3. Stop eating after 7 p.m. Your gut needs roughly a 12-hour window to repair the lining. Every time you snack late, you interrupt that repair cycle. A leaky gut is a foggy brain. This is the cheapest gut support protocol there is, and it costs you nothing. Just call the kitchen. That's it. Walk, pull, close. Do those 3 things consistently for 14 days and see what shifts. That's how you learn what your body actually responds to. Maybe a lot moves, maybe a little, but you'll have real information instead of guesswork. And then you'll have a choice. Stay there and call it good, or go look at what's underneath, what the labs will actually show, and finish the reveal. I want to leave you with this. The day I realized I could handle my kids' tantrum at 7:30 p.m. with peace and kindness, instead of the snap and the guilt spiral after, that's the day I knew this work was worth every dollar and every uncomfortable conversations with a doctor who told me I was fine. Because brain fog is not just about missing work in a meeting. It's about not being there for the people who need you. It's the dad who can't follow his kid's story at dinner because his head is full of static. It's the mom who promised herself she'd be patient and lost it again over spilled juice. It's the partner who used to be sharp and present, now just trying to make it to bedtime. You are not lazy, and you are not getting old before your time. Your body is sending signals, real, readable signals that nobody ever taught you how to read. I wish I had found this work 10 years earlier. I wish someone had sat me down and told me my flatline cortisol and my leaky gut were why I couldn't think straight, instead of letting me waste years on testosterone shots and supplements that were treating the smoke. I can get those years back, but you can save yours. This is the path back to your sharpness, back to the person you remember being before the fog rolled in. The process can take time, but a rebuild is possible. So here is your next step, and it costs you nothing. Book a free 30-minute discovery call with me. We'll look at your story, your symptoms, and what your labs have been missing. And you'll walk away knowing whether this approach fits you. The link is right below this video. And if you are not ready to talk, that's okay. Take the free energy blocker quiz, also linked below. 5 minutes, and it points you toward which system is your most likely lead domino. Start there. Next week, how to reset your stress response system in 30 days. If cortisol is your domino, that's where the rebuild begins. Hit subscribe so you don't miss it. You are not broken. You are foggy. There is a difference. And the fog leaves. And I got you.